गुड मॉर्निंग फ्रेंड्स। आज हम सेल्सफोर्स में डेवलपर और एडमिन के सेंसर बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस देखते हैं, क्योंकि ये क्वेश्चंस हर बार इंटरव्यू में पूछे जाते हैं। तो ये क्वेश्चन आपको हेल्पफुल हो सकते हैं इंटरव्यू क्रैक करने के लिए। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं क्वेश्चंस। आई वांट टू डिलीट द 13,000 customer record but do not want to anyone is to the recover them. What I can do? If you are applying for the role of the Salesforce admin, you can expect the interviewer to ask such a operational based questions. These questions takes the familiarity and width of the system and help the interviewer determine if you have the skills to slow and Salesforce operational challenges for the other users. You can explain the questions by specify the exam command producer, then slow it, the issue and how you use it. Example, Salesforce make it is easy to bulk delete the records permanently using the hard delete options. The difference between delete and hard delete the option is that is the former send the deleted records to be Salesforce recycle bin where it is remain for 15 days. The hard delete is all the records permanently from the Salesforce system with the no way to the recover it. Next question, how do you pass data from the chats to parents compounds? The hiring managers might ask you the questions to test your the knowledge of the Salesforce Lightning platform compounds are the curricles is facilities and communications between the different object on the Lightning platform. When you create a compounds inside the another compounds, it is a create parent child's relationship. Next example, the first step is the create of the custom compounds event with the required attribute of the facilities communications between the chats and the parents compounds register and event in the chats compounds using the aura tags and the fire and event using the triggers like buttons and only or the on change of the input takes every time the triggers occurs in the child's compounds. It's called the custom event and passes the required parameters to the permit compounds. Next questions: how to convert in 15-digit records ID to an 18-digit records and the vice versa. So interviewer might ask you the question like the this is require you to the perform specific task. The questions help you the interviewer that takes you the knowledge of using the suitable question and function the complete takes the task. You can prepare for the similar question by the revisions external Salesforce function before the interview and updating your the knowledge on them. Example, we can use the cases affide in the formula feeds in the increase it is a value from the 15 to 18 digit to the discrete the feeds size or remove the last three digit. Salesforce automatically translate the feeds size from the 18 to 15. Next questions: can you suggest 5 security-based practice to safeguard of our the critical data while using the Salesforce product? Security, one of the biggest reason organizations are the highest to the implement cloud-based solution like the Salesforce. So Salesforce admin the ensure that is safety of the customer data store and transmitted using the Salesforce product by suggesting different safety producer and best practice. You can domestic on to the required then that you prioritize the data security creating enough variables impression that is might help you can secure that the roles. Example, the first security measure I recommend it is in balancing the multi-factors at attention to the add and extra layer of the protections again publishing attack account the take over and traditional stuffing. I use the Salesforce Health check the regularly to only the users from the designing IP address like the complete corporate network. This is ensure that is system Dennis access to the backward trying to the access the system from other IP or virtuous private network VPN. Next questions. What is the difference between the custom and standard reports? Interviewer the might include the 5 questions that is you ask to explain the difference between two uh, features of successful product and when you are answering of question that is a discuss the difference between two things you can describe the define and highlight each element and then they explain you how to vary this approach to understand that you have a approach that is knowledge about the features and understand it is users and correctly. Example, a reports type of the Salesforce, it is a template that is a make the reporting is user and strength forward. The reports that type of determine it is a reports and feeds available for us and defined and a relationship between the primary object and it is a related object. It is a Salesforce to back report type of the standard and customs. A standard report, it is a default type of the Salesforce automatically generate. It's when you can create the object and define to the relationship between the them. Custom report is used to users create and reports and the admin can be specify all of the fields available to users with the creating. It also has a facilities to associate up to 4 object. It is a storing cell so that is you need to specific object with pre-defined fields and whenever you can you use to the reports. Next questions. As a Salesforce admin, how would you give access to the user's knowledge articles? Salesforce admin the primary responsibility to make too easy or the use to Salesforce product as a admin the part of your role and deleting users access level to ensure all users have access to required features. The interviewer might ask similar question the check if you have to expertise to handle the different and request from the users and wiring the access grant. Example, we can assign user that knowledge lesson by the changing the status of the knowledge user the checkbox to the true on the user's details page. This is to ensure that we specify user has access all of the knowledge articles. Next question, mm, what errors does the system how when you can create new active calculations rule when another native tool is already in the place? The interviewer might try to the confuse you by the asking the trick questions like this question is a wording might make you think that is a Salesforce CRM show and error message when you create a new calculations will another calculations already exist, but the critical response is that the CRM does not display the errors message in the sensor. Example, no, there are no errors message. Install the Salesforce CRM marks the old installation is a inactive and the new skill is become the tabs articles shows this is a because the CRM promise and only of the escalation to be the active. Next questions. Can you explain 5 way to the call in Apex class in the Salesforce? Apex is an object-oriented programming language that is help developer execute and transaction and the flow control the statement on the Salesforce server. If you are applying for the position of the Salesforce developers, you can the expert and interviewer to ask you the 5 Apex question, check the your the coding and perform say proficiency in the language. While preparing for the interview, read and job the description carefully and understand the specific requirement and revise appropriate coding the topics. Example, there are the several the ways to the call in Apex class. Some of the popular methods include the using the triggers from the developers console, using the JavaScript links from the Visual Force page from the another the class by the using homepage components. Next question: what happened if the developer does not the declare class in the with sharing without the sharings? I have photo Pickle, what happened? The question common in sensor based question, that is the interviewer ask the question of the evaluate your the critical thinking skills and check if you are the understand of the virus possibilities of the situation. The answer this is a question you can the explain the different questions and share the suggestion on the how to the developers cloud the avoid the similar problems. Example, when a developer use when a developer is to does not the declare of the class using the with of sharing the without the sharings attribute, the class does not the consider the tabs virus the sharing rules. But if another class the with sharing the attribute cause the first class is a considered tab the corresponding the sharing rules. If without sharing class call in another with sharing class, the system execute methods inside the without the sharing rules. Next question: assume the manager who oversee teams of the 20 users in the living organization. What happens if I inactive the managers? The question takes you the workflow of the role and hierarchy, assignment tool and approval process. The interviewer, the uploader, such an hypothetical situation to the evaluate if you have will be the able to handle such as a similar situation later in the workplace. You can answer the new question by the explain your the solution and way you can fill in the best possible options. Example, the best approach to the deactivate the manager's account and reassign the teams of another manager to prevent using from the logging into the accounts during the reassignment. I suggest that we can freeze the team members accounts temporarily by the using the freeze button on the user the records. Once the assignment is over, the we can the deactivate the freeze button and continue with the new rankings. Next questions. You have been asked to the create a custom object in the Salesforce. How will you go about the doing this? The create a custom object in Salesforce, you will be first navigate a system and then on the object managers. From there you will click on the new custom object and button and fields out of the necessarily and information such as the object label, role labels, and records name. You would them add any desired the custom fields and define any requirements page and layout of the records types. Next questions. Your company has a requirement to automate the process of the sending follow of the emails to leads. How to would you accomplish this using the Salesforce? To automate the process of the sending the follow emails to the leads, you could use to Salesforce workflow. You would be create a new workflow rules that is a triggers when or leads meet certain criteria such as being the created or updated. Then you would be the defined workflow action to the taken which in this case you would be sending an emails notification to the leads owner of the designing emails address. You can also the achieve it is a using the flow. Next question, you are the trying to the create and custom reports in the Salesforce, but the feeds you need to the include are not available. How will you add this feed to the report? To add the additional feeds to custom report in Salesforce, you would need to the ensure that is the feeds are available or on of the object the records. Sorry, reports is the based on. If they are not, you would be need to the add the feeds to the object by creating new custom fields. Once the fields are available on the object, you add them to the reports by editing the reports and columns and selecting the desired fields for the custom reports. Make sure that is fields is also the added to the reports layout. Next questions. Your company has a requirement to the track to product sold to each customer. How will you see Salesforce to the accomplish this? To track the products sold of each the customer in Salesforce, you could use to opportunity object the opportunity object always you to create and manage opportunity and including the standard fields such as the product name and amount which can be used and to track the product and sold the associated renew. You could also the create custom fields and page layouts. The product will be the associated to opportunity and opportunity line items. Next question: how can you ensure that certain fields are required when creating or records in the Salesforce? You can make the certain fields required in the fields setting for the object when users try to the create and records without entering the value of requirement fields. Salesforce will display and cover the message. Next question, can you explain how you will be automated the leads assignment process in Salesforce? One way to the automated leads and assignment in the use to lead assignment rules. First, define the criteria that is determine the leads assignment, such as the leads source and company size, geographic location. Next, create two rules automatically assigned to leads to the appropriate sales team and individuals based on the criteria. For the example, you might create two rules and assign the label leads from the particulars designing the specific sales and representative. You can also set up the multiple rules and ensure that is the leads and assignment are the assignment to the right person or the teams. You are the situations where assignment rules does not work. For the example, leads or the cases created by the portals user in the case and custom assignment rules and using the fluently new to the develop. Next question is, how will you handle in situation where users accidentally delete and import on the records in Salesforce? They handle the accidental deletions. Salesforce provide the features called the recycle bin, which store the deleted records for a specified amount of time. To recover the records, the users can go the recycle bin and restore the records to the original location. If the records is no longer in the recycle bin and administration can be check the organization the backup to restoring the records. Make sure to the recover to record repeat for that hard delete from the Salesforce servers. Next questions. How will you assign the custom object tag and customer order in the Salesforce? To design the custom object for this customer orders, you would be first need to define the fields required to capture all of the relevant information, such as the order date and order number, customer number, and order the status. You can then create the relationship between the order object and the other object the Salesforce, such as the product and catalog the customer account. Next, you will be create the page layout, validations rules, and workflow. Ensure that is a integrity and the automated process. Finally, you can create the reports and the design dashboards to the monitor performance of the sales team and the track key metrics such as a renew and order the value. Product can be the associated via orders line the items project. Next question, how will you implement of the lead scoring system in Salesforce? To implement to lead scoring system, you would first need to define the criteria that is a determine qualified leads such as the jobs titles, company size, and level of engagement. You can then assignment to score each of the criteria based on the important. Next you would be create the formula fits and calculated the of the leads score based on all the criteria, and there the corresponding weight you can then use this score and factorize leads of the sign, and then you appreciate sales and representative. Additionally, you can set a worker on a process to notify sales to reap of the high scoring leads and ensure that is timely follow up. Next question, can you explain how you would be integrate and Salesforce with the external systems such as the ERP? The integrate Salesforce with the external system, you would first need to define the data mapping between the two systems, identify which fits in the Salesforce corresponding to the which fits in the external system. Uh, Next you can use the Salesforce API or the connection of the established connections between the two systems. You can then set up the data synchronization to the ensure that is the changes made in the on system are the reflected in the orders or the others are part of the data synchronization. You can do integration for the real time the update in the Salesforce based on of the business process. Next question, your company has recently merged with another company and need to the integrated with the Salesforce ORG with you. The what step will be take the ensure that is successful integrations to integrate the two Salesforce ORG. We can will be need to access the data mapping between the two system and identify any difference in the data separate data structures. We can use to Salesforce API ETL data loaders and extract the relevant data from of the others company ORG and integrate with our own ORG. We would be need to the establish of clear the conversation plan between the two companies to the ensure that all the stakeholders are the informed that is the integrated process. We can also set up the validations rules and the data quality check of the ensure that is only would be data entrance for the before to origin. Next questions. A customer is a experience issue with the Salesforce account and the need help resolving the issue. How to would you approach the situations? We would start by gathering information about the customer issue and assign the server of the problem. We can use to support console to create a case of for the customer and assign it to the appropriate support as again support again can be communicate with the customer. Next questions. A customer is a experience issue with the Salesforce account and they need help resolving the issue. How would you approach these situations? We would start the get gather information about the customer issue and assigning the server of the problem. We can use Salesforce support consular create as a case of the customer and assign it to the appropriate support. Again, the support can be the communicate with our customer to the troubleshoot the issue and provide the resolutions. We can also leverage and Salesforce knowledge based on the provide the customer with sales service and resource to help them the resource the issue can there. One finally we can set up the alert to notify is to similar issue arise the future solving to proactivity or address them. Next questions. A company has just implemented and Salesforce and want to the train the employees on how to use the platform. How will you designing a training program to ensure successful adoptions? We would you start the assigning the company is specific needs the designing to tailors training problem that address this needs. We cannot use combination of the structure led training, self-paced is training the modify model and of the practice to the provide the employees with of the comprehensive understanding of platform. We cannot also create a training manual and the other the reference material to the provide the ongoing support, help the employees apply their the training to the day to day and work. Finally we have can set up the feedback much mechanism to gather input from employees and continually improve the training programs. Next, a customer has a requested to custom application to be the built on of the Salesforce platform. What step will you take to ensure that is a success of the project? We will you start the gathering the customer is requirement and the designing solutions that meet of the other needs. We can use Salesforce Lightning app builders to create the custom application, and it is a theoretical theory before deploying it is to the customer. We can also provide the training and the support to the ensure that is a customer understand how to the application and can get the most value from it. Next questions. Your company has a just requiring a new subordinary that uses the different CRM platform. How would you integrate the two system? We would start the by assigning the data mapping the between the two system of the identifying and a difference in the structures. We can use Salesforce API and might where the tools like Microsoft the integrate data from of the subordinate CRM platform with over the Salesforce. What is the guarantee all stakeholders are aware of the integration process. It is a result to the developer well-defined communications plan between both of the organizations. This is plan would be ensure that all of the parties involved are informed that of every step of the integration and any potential concerns of the issue can be the addressed into timely manners. Next questions, a customer is experienced a performance issue with the Salesforce ORG. How would you troubleshoot and resolve the issue? We would you start by with we would start by gathering the information about the customer and on assigning the server of the performance issue. We can see Salesforce the performance tools like the Lightning Experience performance optimize and the Apex executions limit to the identify the bottleneck in the system. We can the work with the customer to the optimize their ORG by implementing best practice, such as reducing data value of the optimizing queries. Make sure that is check the status Salesforce.com if there is any performance degradation on your Salesforce instance. Next questions. Customer is requesting of the report that is display data from the multiple Salesforce object. How would you create this is report? We can create a custom reports type of the link the object together, and then you use Salesforce report builders to the create and reports that display the desired data. We can also the formula feeds and calculate value of the are not available directly in the data. Customer has a requested in custom integration between the Salesforce and a third-party application. While you designing and implementation, this is a integrations. We can use Salesforce API and middleware tools like the Microsoft in the integrator to integrate the two system. We would need to access the data mapping between the data system and identify any difference in data structure. We can then custom can code or use to per bulk pre-built and connections to the integrate to the system. Next questions. A customer is requesting the mobile application that is integrated with of the other Salesforce org. Will you like create the applications? We can use this Salesforce mobile SDK to create the custom mobile application that is integrated with of the customers Salesforce org. We can also the Salesforce app exchanger to the find free word and mobile application that can be the customized with the customer need to. You can also native the 100 or OS, SDK, and build custom mobile apps. Customizer requesting a chat box that that can answer a common question about the other services. Would you like the you to create in this chat box? We can use Salesforce external bot builders to create and custom chat box that can be answer the common questions about the customer Salesforce org. That board training can be the done of the leaping going to historical chat data that is providing the continuum to ensure that is a maintain is a ability to deliver practice and the useful response. Okay. Mm. Customer is a requesting is a custom integration between the service and the according the system. How you are designing and implementing these integrations? We can use to Salesforce is API and middleware tools that is like MuleSoft and in to integrate to the system. We would be need to the assign access to data and mapping the between to the system and identify any difference in the data structure. We can the then create and custom code or use for but connectors in integrate to the system. Next questions. Our customer is requesting as a custom approval process for the other Salesforce org. How will you create this approach process? We can use to Salesforce approach process failure to create a custom approach process that is a meet and customer requirement. We can the delete and tighten the approach that is a rejection rejections set up the emails notification for the approval and track track the status of the approval process using the Salesforce reporting tools. Next questions. You can, you the company has a requirement track the status of the customer service case. You would be, can you use how would you use Salesforce to accomplish this? To track the status of the customer service case in Salesforce, you could use to case object allow you to the create and manage case, including the standard feeds such as a case status, which can be the use and track the status each case. You could also create the custom fields page layout to track additional information about the case, such as the date and time they were the upon the close. Next questions. Your company want to the issue that is new leads assigned to the appropriate sales representative based on of their locations. How will you accomplish the using the Salesforce? Ensure that is new leads and assigned to appropriate sales representative based on of the location. You could use Salesforce assignment rules. You would be create any new assignment tool triggers when the new leads and created in defining a criteria and to determine which sales representative will be assigned to lead, and based on the location you could also set up the email notification to inform that is assigned sales representative when your new lead and assigned to the him. Next question, your company want to use Salesforce to track the marketing campaign and measure the effectiveness. How to will you Salesforce to accomplish this? To track the marketing campaign, the measure that is effectiveness, the Salesforce would you could use the campaign or object. The campaign object allow you to create and the manages campaign and include the standard feeds such as the campaign status, which can be used to track the status of each campaign. You could also create custom feeds and page layouts to track additional information about the campaign, such as the number of leads generated and returns of the investment and for the each campaign. Next question: customer is requesting custom dashboards. Next questions. A customer is requesting a custom dashboard that display real-time data from their Salesforce ORG, or how would you create these dashboards? We can the Salesforce lighting the dashboard builder to create a custom dashboard that is a display real-time data from the customer Salesforce ORG. We can the dynamic filtering that is a deal and on the capability to the provide the insight into the data. Create visually applying the dashboards that metric that meet the customer's requirement. Next questions: customer is requesting the custom object that is stored data related to the business process. How would you create this is custom object? We can use the Salesforce object managers to create a custom object that is made to customers requirement. We can define the feeds, the relationship that are the required set of the validations, rules and records types, that is a create custom page and layout and a related list to be display the data. We can also use Apex code to automated and business process and create the custom button and link to the streamline the user's experience. Next questions: customer is reporting that is their Salesforce ORG running slow. How would you troubleshoot the issue? We can use Salesforce performance monitoring tools and troubleshooting their issue. We can check if the system status to see if there are any now issue, reviewing the identify any errors and perform the issue and run the diagnostic test of the identify any performance bottleneck. And we can also work with the customers. We identify any the customization, the integration that is maybe affecting the performance and make the recommendation of for the optimize. Thank you friends. अगर मेरा चैनल आपको पसंद आता है तो लाइक और सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, और मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि और अच्छे से वीडियो बनाऊंगा और आप लोगों को इंटरव्यू क्रैक करने में और स्टडी करने में सेल्सफोर्स में हेल्प हो सकती है और हेल्प होगी, क्योंकि मैं ट्राई करूंगा और अच्छे से वीडियो बनाने के लिए। मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में। थैंक यू, बाय बाय।